Black Loafing Pest. 35 cents, a 3/4 body and a rules line that reads like somebody left the copy paste running. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each pest, bat, insect, snake and spider you control. Each one, not one of them, all of them. And here is the part it took me a second read to notice. Black does not care how much life you gain. One life is worth exactly as much as 20. So this is not really a life gain deck. It is a deck that gains one life as many separate times as it possibly can. 10,629 people have already built it. Let's take it apart. Read the text, because the wording does all the work. Whenever you gain life, not once each turn, not the first time each turn, every single instance, and every instance is a board-wide counter. 5 creature types, which sounds arbitrary until you notice. It is the exact list that Blech's Vexing Pest pumped back in the first Strixhaven. Blech is a pest, so he counts himself. 3 mana, black and green, and a 3/4 that survives being cast on turn 3. 35 cents and the third most built commander in Magic. Here is how fast that happened. Numbers here come from EDHREC, Secrets of Strixhaven, released on the 24th of April. In the 7 days left in that month, 2,617 people built Blech, and he was already the 9th most built commander in the world. May was the real month. 3,692 new decks and the number 3 spot overall. 10,629 decks in total for a card you can buy for 35 cents. EDHREC text builds by theme, and the top of Blech's list is unusually flat. Life gain 978 decks, +1/+1 counters 787, 562, then a cliff down to insect typal. Those top 3 are not 3 different decks, they are one deck described by whichever half of it you noticed first, and of the 1400 builders who picked a power bracket 9 and 10 said 2 or 3. Casual tables, real teeth. So how do you gain one life over and over for almost no mana? Bogwater Lumare gains you a life every time a creature enters, itself included. 28 cents and 83% of lists run it. Essence Warden is the expensive one at $7 and the sneaky one because it does not say a creature you control. Every creature anybody plays gains you a life, so you collect commander triggers on other people's turns. Kazandu Nectar Pot gains a life on landfall, 22 cents to turn your land drop into a counter on every creature you own. Quick thing about the tokens, because there are 2 different pests here. The original Strixhaven Pest gains you a life when it dies. That is what Blightmount makes, 40 cents, and it wants a sacrifice outlet. The Secrets of Strixhaven Pest gains you a life when it attacks. That is what Send in the Pest makes, and it wants to go to combat. Same token name, opposite instructions, and the average list runs both. Pest Infestation costs X, X, and the green. Destroy up to X artifacts or enchantments, then make twice X pests. Cast it for 3 with Bogwater Lumare on the table. 6 pests enter, 6 separate triggers, 6 separate life gains, 6 rounds of counters. Those 1/1 tokens arrive as 7 sevens, 52 cents. Tend the Pests converts that straight back. 2 mana instant, sacrifice a creature, make pests equal to its power. Iridescent Hornbeetle turns those counters into an army. At the beginning of your end step, it makes a 1/1 insect for every +1/+1 counter you put on your creatures this turn. Go back to that pest infestation turn. Blech, the beetle in 6 fresh pests, is 8 creatures taking a counter 6 times over. 48 counters, so 48 insects. And insects are on Blech's list, so next turn they grow too. 30 cents. Gorma, the gullet, is a lifelink pest for just under $2. Here is the rules note that raises the ceiling. When several creatures with lifelink deal combat damage at the same time, that is not one life gain. Each source causes its own separate event, so wide attack triggers your commander once per attacking creature. Whip of Erebos gives the whole team lifelink for 4 mana. Attack with 8 creatures and you gain life 8 times, which is 8 full rounds of counters. $8.37. That is the engine. Now let's open up the average list and count things. Average mana value across the 99 2.8. 22 cards sit at 2 mana, 18 at 3, and the curve basically ends at 5. That shape is not just green being green. In this deck, 2 cheap creatures entering is 2 life gain triggers, and 1 expensive creature is 1. So mana cost here is not only tempo, it is throughput. 32 creatures, 35 lands, and the usual scattering of everything else. What matters is which creatures. 20 of those 32 are a pest, a bat, an insect, a snake, or a spider. 2/3 of the creature base is stuff. Blech actually grows, which is builders filtering their creature slots by creature type instead of by power level. My favorite detail in the whole list, Pest Rescuer, is not a pest, it is a Dryad Druid. Run the hypergeometric on those counts. 20 creatures your commander grows means 81% of opening hands hold at least 1. 18 cards gain you life more than once, and 77% of hands have one of those. And then the number that should bother you. 35 lands on a 2.8 curve gives 3 or more lands in only 48% of your opening 7s. I would run 36. Counts are nice. Here is what the actual turns look like. Turn 2, Kazandu, Nectar Pot, so every land you play from here is a trigger. Turn 3, Blech, and the counters switch on. Turn 4, Bogwater, Lumaret, and now everybody that enters is 1 life and 1 counter on everything you own. Turn 5, the Pest Wave, 6 tokens that show up as 7/7s. Turn 6, Iridescent Hornbeetle converts, that turns counters into 48 insects. There is a genuine combo in here too. Exile Walking Ballista from your graveyard with Agatha Soul Cauldron. Now every creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Ballista's ability. Remove a counter, deal 1 damage to anything. Point that at Gorma, the Gullet, who has lifelink and is a pest. Remove a counter, deal 1, gain 1 life, and Blech immediately puts the counter back. Infinite damage, table over, and 84 decks across EDHREC run all 3 pieces. The Cauldron is $38 though, so treat it as a bonus and not a plan. And now the good news, because almost none of that engine costs real money. Teacher's Pest is 24 cents and the most included card in the deck at 86%. Menace gains a life when it attacks and it buys itself back out of your graveyard for 2 mana. Shopkeeper's Bane, 25 cents, trample, gains 2 life on attack. Pest Mascot, 27 cents, trample, and it grows itself every time you gain life on top of what Blech is doing. 3 cards, 76 cents. But the best rate in the entire deck is Root Manipulation at 24 cents. 5 mana sorcery. Until end of turn your creatures get +2/+2, gain menace, and gain, whenever this creature attacks you gain 1 life. Cast it, then attack with 10 creatures, 10 attack triggers, 10 separate life gains, 10 more rounds of counters, and all of it lands before blockers are declared. Dina, Soul Steeper, 34 cents, does not care about the amount either. 10 triggers, 3 opponents, 30 life gone. Add it up. The average Blech deck on EDHREC comes to about $206, which is a fairly normal number for a modern deck. 20 of the cards that actually define it cost $7.09 together. And 1 card, Doubling Season, is $33.53 on its own. That said, if you do want to spend money, here is where it genuinely buys something. Hardened Scales is $2.28, and it is the best $2 in the deck. 1 extra counter every time counters are placed, and your commander places them on every creature separately. That 6 trigger turn on 8 creatures goes from 48 counters to 96. Enduring Tenacity, $12, is the win condition. Whenever you gain life, an opponent loses that much. It is also a snake, so Blech grows it. Doubling Season is the obvious one, and it hits both halves of the card. Pest Infestation for 3 makes 12 pests instead of 6, and every commander trigger puts down 2 counters instead of 1. Scoot Swarm is $9.22, and it is quietly perfect here. It is an insect, so it grows. Its landfall tokens are insects, so they grow. And past 6 lands, it copies itself. That is the deck. Here is the whole 99 at once. Straight from EDHREC. 35 lands, 32 creatures, and an awful lot of cards costing less than $1. If you want a starting point, take the 20 card core for $7, add whatever ramp and removal is already in your box, and you are playing. Blech does not care how much life you gain, he cares how many times. That is the whole card, that is the whole deck, and it is why a 35-cent rare named after a Noise of Disgust was the third most built commander in Magic in May. If you take one card away from this video, make it Root Manipulation. 24 cents that turns 10 attackers into 10 commander triggers is the best rate in the format, and hardly anybody is running it. This has been EDH Decks. New deck tech every week.